One thing that I want to mention, so one thing that I want to mention as one of the co-organizers for this and as a past attendee of a few other startup weekends and also as an entrepreneurship professor is that I think I got a chance to speak to some of the teams after their pitches, and my impression was that teams felt that this was a good experience. You get 5 minutes to pitch. In front of actual VCs or angel investors, you get much less than 5 minutes. If you can't keep their attention within the first 20, 30 seconds, they basically shut themselves off. So, being able to convince us that the idea is valuable is a good thing to practice. I think also it's valuable to have observed all 7 teams that presented today. You probably have an opinion of your own regarding which teams were strong and which teams were not. I think that same mindset when you are evaluating other teams is actually more difficult when you're trying to evaluate your own performance. When you're trying to evaluate your own performance, you're probably biased. You also have an idea that's much more sophisticated in your head than what you've actually presented. So, it's actually a very useful skill to be able to practice evaluating your own performance, evaluating your own pitch as a somewhat ignorant bystander. So, those are some tips that I would give you if any of you decide to push your ideas further. So at this point, before we take a look at what are in all these mystery bags for everyone, I'd like to hand over the mic to our judges. So,
I'll go first.
So would you please give Yo some hands?
Timao, thank you very much. And I would like to, first of all, because I know you're all tired and very excited to hear who actually won and who's the runner-up of this startup weekend in Incheon. I would like to, first of all, just a couple of words of thanks for the people who organized it. So I just would like to thank you guys for organizing it. I do know how much hard work went into it, and as a first time it's always searching a little bit, but we had a good partnership with the sponsors, so with Philips and IBM, ourselves, Allianz, and Kisa. We had a very good cooperation, and we agreed with each other, fully committed to do this, and that worked out really well. And Chimao and your team to host us here, I think it has been very good. Even for me, it was a learning experience in the many things that I heard, so that was very good. Just a couple of things that I want to say as learnings, right? And I know we will, or you did already evaluate, right? So we got a lot of information for you. But, we do realize that Songdo was a bit of a, it's a beautiful location, right? And this place is very good. But we also know that some people thought it was too far away, and not you guys because you're here, but the people who didn't show up didn't sign up for this, right? So this is a balance that we have to strike, right? So we will think about this in the future. Is it something that we want to do or not? But it's a beautiful location if you see this, and I think an inspirational environment, that's very good. Second point is English, right? We had a lot of discussion about this, and I talked with many of you. You did great, even the ones who are not fluent in English. You did a very good job, right? And let me express why I think it's so important that we do it actually in English and we keep it an international event. The sponsors are 3 huge global companies, right? So the biggest insurance company worldwide, IBM is one of the largest companies, the largest tech company in the world when it comes to software development, consulting and services. So and Philips is a tiny, small electronics company, but there's nobody from Philips here now. They used to be big. They invented the light bulb. It's invented by Philips, right? So that's the old days. But anyway, multinational companies, right? And even when they operate in Korea, right? we want to innovate, yeah? But we don't want to innovate for Korea, because although Korea is a big market, on the whole part of Allianz or IBM or Philips, it's not that big, right? So if we see something here, we want to work with it, we want to be inspired, we want to maybe work with guys like you, and we want to export that idea. This is for our group, this is not for our market, right? So Korea, wanting to be, and already is, a digital savvy and a technical savvy country, but wanting to export that, it is extremely important that we internationalize it. So therefore I'm an advocate of doing these events in English and keeping an international crowd, okay? So I encourage you guys to keep your feet into that space, right? Because Korea in the end, in the global world, when you're young as we all are, is actually not huge, okay? It can be much bigger, especially when you have a great idea. Okay, so I just want to say that we will, as I want to, and I know many of the other organizers, we see this something that we should not stop after today, right? So hopefully we can see each other much more in the future. And now I want to say something about judging, because that's not easy. That's a bit of a cliche and everybody says it, but when you see the passion that you guys exposed and the pictures and the movie and what I heard and what I saw in the pictures sent to me over the weekend, but what we saw during the presentations, you guys have been doing a fantastic job this weekend. So on behalf of the judges, I want to thank you. And when we sat there in that room, right, we did our scoring, and actually there was sometimes not that much difference, and you know, people judge different way, but when you have your discussion with the 5 judges, we had these discussions, and we had passionate discussions, almost like you had in your presentations, right? So it became a little bit heated in that room. So anyway, we came out with 2 winners, but I want to say that every single presentation, so we're only going to announce the number 2 and the number 1, right? But all the presentations had our discussion, and there was not even one presentation where we said this is all ridiculous, right? We said with all the presentations there was something missing maybe. We said like there are many good parts and interesting parts, and we had discussions about this. So all the ideas were actually quite solid, right, and thought through by you guys. And I definitely understand that these 7 out of 31-minute pitches came forward, and I really compliment you guys on that. That was very good. But okay, only 2 can be the winner. Here behind me are a couple of bags. First of all, there's a prize for everyone actually, and this is not yet about the winner. This is not. I was going to say this is not a sex toy. It's actually not. So, okay, so this is hardware for you guys to. But I can tell you, by taking this home, and everybody will take one home. You already paid back for your investment in this weekend. So this is actually, and let alone all the beautiful teeth you will get. So that's great. Thank you, Philips. Okay, so for the number 2 place, because that's what I'm going to say, and then Jeffrey is going to talk about the actual winner, right? The number 2, and I'm gonna say the name at the end. Why we thought this was one of the winners today? In the internet space, you will also have to create some hype, right? It needs to be quickly adoptable to many places, right? So that was an important one when we saw this. And we saw during the presentation there was a lot of excitement of this particular contender, the excitement that was created. What we also liked is the fact that there was actually a clickable and prototype there, and I'm going to give it away. There was actually a hardware that was also a prototype. So the winner here is actually bad data. The number 2 spot, right? You have the number 2 spot. That's great, right? Okay, so just a couple of comments there. We come here, guys. As I said, a lot of excitement in the presentation. You see that in the room as well. People liked the idea. They were excited about it, and we think that is very important when you try to bring something to the market, right? What the biggest discussion point that we had is around the concept of actually the theme, health and lifestyle, right? We as judges, we are not completely convinced that this is health. And we believe that it might be part of lifestyle, but then again, we thought like, how sustainable is it actually, right? Is this something that is that can be hyped and then is over with? And then we thought like, yeah, but okay, if it's hyped and it's over with, because we can see this product that you guys developed, including the design. I think you made the design, right? So a product like this can be like the number one on the Christmas list of Amazon, right? We seriously thought that is potentially possible with something like this, right? Why not? Can hype, right? People think it's funny to give to each other. We don't know if they give it to each other because they really believe it makes them healthier, or it really improves their lifestyles, right? But who cares if you make a fortune, right? If you can make a couple of $1 billion because 2 seasons this is gonna hit the market like crazy, right? Then nobody will ask you anymore like, how relevant is it really? So we had this discussion, but we still think you should be one of the 2 winners, but we gave you the 2nd spot today. Okay? So congratulations. Very good. So you guys all get a jawbone.
Whoa!
Congratulations. We do pictures later, right? So I will just give it all to you now.
Wow.
Woohoo! And thank you very much. Very good presentation. Very good idea. Thank you. I'll give it to Jeffrey to announce the number 1.
Number 1.
Okay, congratulations. That was, again, like was said, could be like the product of the year, but could be over in 18 months. But that's okay, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to have to, because the feedback here is very specific, I'm going to have to announce the winner and then describe more about what happened. But I would echo your words. Everybody did a terrific job. And very difficult to, in such a short time, to get your message across. But I think a good lesson learned. I've been in a large company my whole career, but as I talk to people who've done this, and you've got the advice already, you got to make your impact quick, right? And a lot of the teams went on for a while before I could really figure out what it was. But that's okay. Lesson learned. Okay. Gensurance. I was wondering if you guys would have spread out and given us fun. All right, so we'll get to the certificates in a second, and the fancy schmancy eye watches. All right, so comments. First of all, this whole idea of genetics and DNA data is very controversial. The thing that differentiated what you were doing from what's already happening in the market, there's a lot of controversy in the market about what people will do and the liability around knowing that I have a maybe 50% chance of prostate cancer, right? My age group, maybe my ethnic background, my genetics. What if I took action on that and it really wasn't going to happen? But you are not suggesting that, or you wouldn't be here. What you're suggesting is a financial bet. Empowering the customer with data. So data, information, really is the new natural resource. Water, air, oil, data is the new natural resource. And you're empowering the consumer with information, right? To make a financial decision, not a medical one. So big line there. Financial, not medical, right? Your mock-up was great. You could have put something in front of us to play with. Didn't distract me too much, but right, they gave us phones to play with. Thought that was a great idea. And finally, you got to the point quickly, which was a small item, but nevertheless, you got to the point where you understood it. The debate we had was comparing you to other terrific teams, right? It wasn't that you didn't have a great idea, you did, but so did a lot of other people. But we thought you had the best, and we thought you presented the best. Congratulations. So they have a round-trip air ticket, and you guys are going to have to figure this out, for one person to the largest startup conference in the U.S., one of the largest, so you guys have to figure out that. You got your iWatches, all right? And anyway, again, congratulations to everybody. Thanks. So there's only 4 of you, so I get to keep one? You're welcome.
Wow.
We're gonna take a picture first, or you wanna get the prizes? Okay, all right. So please, for all teams, all teams should have a bag. Okay, so please go to the back and pick up your prize bag, and then come back. Please come back.
All right, I guess the award ceremony has been fabulous, and now people are getting their own prize that just for participating, they actually get something out of it. So it's great. I mean, they pay $60 per day, and they actually get a flight ticket to go to the biggest tech conference in the U.S. And I mean, they meet new people. I mean, this is a great event here. So wow, this is a fabulous moment, you know. I'm actually gonna let it be, so people can really enjoy it this time. So.
저희 팀 잠깐 이쪽으로 오실래요? 그런 거 있으셨어요. 고생하셨습니다. 수고하셨습니다. 수고하셨습니다. How was it? Yeah, sure. Jennifer?
수고하셨어요. 여기까지. 조심히 안 먹잖아요. 다행이네요. Alright. 그럼 이거 좀 찍어야 될 것 같아요. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I haven't yet. 안녕하세요. Okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take a photo and I'll probably put it on my Facebook if you're interested. Let me know so I can share. Anyways, I'm gonna put this on YouTube in the future. So, alright.